We're focusing on your irons, and your answers indicate you have what we would call a classic slice. So a shot that starts straight or to the left of target and then curves too far to the right through the air. You've also told us that your preference would be to play with a fade. So a shot that starts slightly left and then curves to the right through the air back towards target. Your slice is caused by an out to in swing path, where the club head is travelling too far to the left of target through impact, and an open face. When the face points to the right of the direction of the swing, the ball curves to the right through the air, and the more the face is open, the further the ball will curve. For a fade, we still want an out to in swing path, but only slightly. We don't want it as much as you have currently in your swing. And we also still want an open face, but again only slightly open. Your club face currently is too open to hit a fade, which is why it's curving too far to the right. So what we're trying to do with your golf swing is not change these things completely, it's just managing how severe they are. So to begin with, we're going to look at the swing path. Now to help us out, we've got a stick on the ground that's lined up around the toes of the right foot and parallel to the target line. The first thing to notice would be, when you take the club to the top and then bring it down, angled outward in relation to that stick, it puts the club head on the outside of the target line from where it's going to move severely from out to in. And this is of course one of the aspects of your slice. On the other hand, if we were to go to the other extreme, which would be to bring the club down, angled inward in relation to the stick, you have the club in a position where it's very easy to swing from in to out. And of course that would be draws and hooks. So for a more neutral ball flight, we would actually prefer a more neutral downswing, and that of course means somewhere in between the two. The guide would be to simply bring the club down on top of this orange stick, which in other words means your club shaft is parallel to the target line. Now this is a more neutral position because it allows the club head to approach impact from slightly inside the target line, but on an arc that can bring it around to straight just before impact and then start to move back to the inside as it strikes the ball. And this will give us the very slightly out to in swing path that we need. Now secondly would be your club face. Now with all golf swings, from setup to the top of the swing, there will be an opening of the club face. This is done by rotating the club around its shaft to the right. You'll see the toe moves back away from the heel, and this would be the face opening. This means that with all golf swings, one of the important jobs for the downswing is to reverse the rotation and move this club back towards square. And we need of course to time it to get the club face in a position that's appropriate for the shot we're trying to hit. In your case, you're currently opening the face, returning it towards square, but it's not reaching square for impact. So the face is still open and the ball is slicing to the right. What we need to do is get you to close the face a little bit earlier, not so that the face lines up for impact, because a square face at impact gives you a straight shot. We still want the face open, but only slightly. So if we look at your downswing, we need to add some twisting of the grip to the left to get the face to move slightly closer to square by the time it reaches the ball. We can still use this stick as our reference point, which is, as we call, the delivery position on the way down towards impact. And we can look at the club face and see the difference between an open and a more square face. So currently, wherever it is that your club face is, if you've added a little bit of a twist to the grip, the face will be closer to square. So looking at where the club face is pointing at this position, instead of pointing up to the sky, it'll be pointing down towards the ground. To do this, from the top of the swing down to this position here, you need to feel that you've added a little bit of this rotation. Now from this point, the face is still open. If I was to bring this club into impact without adding any more rotation to the face at all, it would be dramatically open. So we need to continue this twisting or rolling of the club to get the toe of the club to approach the heel so that it's closer to square at impact. After impact, the club will move to the inside and the face will go from open to square to closed. But this is after we've made contact with the ball. So again, if we take our setup, swing to the top, The first move is going to be bring the club down into a neutral position with a face that's slightly less open than it was before. And then from here, approach impact from slightly more inside the target line, allowing the toe of the club to catch up to the heel a little bit faster. Now obviously these things can be overdone. It's not just a case of closing the face as much as you possibly can, because you would close it too much and your ball would miss left. So it's a case of calibrating what we have. So before every shot, set up for a practice swing, rehearse the delivery position with the parallel shaft and starting to apply a little bit of a twist. Secondly would be from here, release the club so you feel the toe catching up to the heel, and then the club swings through into a full finish as it normally would. If you can do it in stages and feel these two key moves, take out the pause and go from beginning to end with a nice smooth flow, trying to maintain focus on the club moving through a reasonably neutral position as it comes through this delivery area, and that the club is rotating towards the target to get the face slightly less open. So again, smooth, flowing swing, and then speed it up. And when you feel comfortable, hit a shot. The golf ball will tell you whether you're doing it enough and you're hitting a nice little fade, too much and you're missing to the left, or not enough and your ball is still missing to the right. So again, a rehearsal in stages, neutral downswing, closing the face, releasing the club through impact well, a full speed practice swing, and then let's see this little fade.